Before we start this session, I would like to share an introductory video about iMackey Malaysia. Please enjoy.
Yes.
Welcome to IME Malaysia.
iMackey was established in 1847 by George Stephenson and has some of the world's greatest engineers in its history books. It is one of the fastest growing professional engineering institutions. Headquartered in London, we have operations around the world with members in more than 140 countries. We are involved in a plethora of industries, which includes automotive, rail, aerospace, medical, power, and construction.
The Malaysian branch was incorporated in the year 1997 with the formation of a pro-temp committee with Professor Engineer Dr. Ong Kok Seng as the pro-temp chairman. Applications to the Malaysian Registrar of Society was approved in the year 2000 and the first inaugural meeting was held in January 2001. The branch has efficient business plans and a committee of dedicated volunteers to achieve the mission of the institution through the provision of networking, events, news, links with like-minded organizations, and opportunities for the local engineering community.
Okay, thank you for watching the video. So, before we start the session, I would like to welcome our speaker again and just give a short background about our speaker today. So, Dr. Muhammad Gailani here. He is a PhD holder from University Putra Malaysia in Mechanical Engineering and Chartered Engineering from iMackey, UK, and member in iMackey as well. He is also a graduate member of Board of Engineering Malaysia (BEM). His background is about saving energy, thermal comfort, ocean thermal energy conversion, wave energy, heating, ventilation and air conditioning, heat exchanger, heat transfer. He has 9 years experience at UCSI University since January 2012 as a lecturer and coordinator of the design project capstone of the Mechanical Engineering Department. So without a further ado, please welcome Dr. Muhammad Kailani. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanish, for this introduction. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. It's my pleasure to be with you, all of you. I would like to thank and appreciate the effort that had been done by AMEC student chapter of UCSI University for this kind of the event. I'm not going to give long speech today, as we are aware it's going to be go with 1 hour. So I hope that we are going to understand the idea of the integrated design project, or some they call it capstone. So today I'm going to provide some ideas about what is the capstone itself and how are we going to provide the information regarding to the project and how the students is running the project by during the semester. So please allow me to share the screen. Okay. Okay, so as we aware that design project is something is really important for our journey as a mechanical engineering, and definitely is not about the mechanical engineering itself alone. All the departments in engineering that are running or are running design project, which is a capstone design. The idea come out after you accumulate all the kind of the study for year 1, year 2, and year 3. The idea here, you may need to understand that there is a huge difference between the design project and the final year project. So we can start about what is a capstone project. Capstone project is multi-assignments in one project. That's why we are starting the project from the beginning of the semester until the end. It's not like any kind of the assignment that we are taking during the semester or during any kind of the course. For mechanical engineering, I'm not going to compare between us, between mechanical and other departments, but for mechanical engineering, we are covering the whole program learning outcomes. I believe everybody here is aware what is the program learning outcome, which is we have 12 PLOs, as we call it. So we may need to cover everything in this project, starting from the knowledge and finishing with the cost analysis and management for the project. So since we have several criteria that we need to cover in the design project, means this project is really explicit. It's moving with health ideas, is moving with, we can mention about the integrities, is about the environmental and sustainability, is moving with some kind of the cause that and standard that we may need to follow before we are asking to move with the idea that we may need to go with. So the capstone itself is an idea provided definitely by the department, is not going to be provided by the students. So usually in our practice, we are providing one title for the students, and the students come out with a project, as a group. So by this one, the students may need to think out of the box to find out how the idea is supposed to be implemented as a design. Okay, now we are talking about a design. We are not talking about a research. Okay, there is a difference between a design and the research. Design is apart from research, but research is not part from the design. So when we would like to talk about the idea of the design, we may need to think about all the criteria that we may need to implement in this kind of the design. So if we would like to start with the objective, why do we need to set objective for a project that we are not really aware what is going on for that kind of the project? Later, I'm going to show you several designs that the students has come out in the past few years. Okay, I take off this kind of the project a few years ago, and we have decided as a department level to implement all the ideas that you have studied during your semesters from year 1 until year 3 to this kind of the project. So the group of students, they may need to come out with a problem. They need to find what is the problem behind this kind of the idea. After finding out the problem, they may need to find the gap of the idea between this work and others' work, because we cannot duplicate what have been designed before. We may need to come out with something new, implement new idea. Usually the students are searching for several articles, several ideas through the Google, through the internet itself, and some of the research papers. But they are taking only the base background regarding to this project, and they may need to know how to develop the idea. Usually we are asking the students to come out with different designs. Not only one, they need to come multi-designs, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, it depends on how is difficult the project. So from this part, the students, they may need to find out, okay, I'm having the idea right now, and I found out what is the problem. So I may need to find solution for this problem. So what's the solution? The students, they may need to come out with objective to achieve the goal. So by come out with the objective, the students, they may need to find way to achieve these kind of the objectives by several designs, by selecting type of the materials, following standards, following the community, following the society, following the standard level of the environment, the following multi things that we may need to cover in this kind of the project. So the students, they need to think what they're supposed to do to make this kind of the project is totally different with what is existing in the market. Some of the project is be able to be sell out, but until now we didn't do such thing. Why? Because we come out with some ideas that in the beginning, which is starting, I will say 2000, during my time, starting from 2018 until 2021, okay, we come out with several ideas, but up to the department level, it's not up to the market level. So later on, we come out with a market level. That's what we found in May 2021. So later I'm going to share about this. So in this case, the students, they may need to find out what they're supposed to do to achieve this kind of the project. So they start from the initial design. Some of the students where I'm teaching this semester the foundation level of the graphic design engineering. Yeah. So the students are asking me, sir, is the sketching still demand in the market? Yeah, it's definitely, because without sketching, we will not be able to understand the idea. We cannot come out direct design through the computer unless we have some sketching on the paper. We may need to find out the dimensions. They may need to find out how to implement the visual of the design. So there are several steps that we need to come out before starting to implement the design by using the softwares. So in this part, the students, they may need to sit together, think together about how to achieve the goal. What kind of the design that they may need to come out. So in this case, we are not asking the students to come out with the wow design factor from the first design that come out in their mind. It's impossible. After studying several times, day by day, you may need to find out what do we need to develop to this design to make it in the market level. Because we may need to figure out there are several designs available in the market. How are we going to differentiate between this design and the available design? Are we able to sell this design in the market? Is this design really achievable, achieve all the criteria required based on the standards? Because we may need to follow the standard. This is very important. Okay. So in the beginning, we may need to study. That's why we are talking about PLO number 1 is the knowledge. We have to search, find idea. So the knowledge you came out, you already collected from your courses that you have studied during the first 3 years. Then after that, we will move to PLO number 2, which is about the problem solving. You may need to figure out how to solve the problem by mathematical modeling or by kind of the idea of the design. Then we will move to PLO 3, which is the design itself. So we'll come out to the design. But before starting with this one, you may need to move to PLO number 4, which is about investigation. You have to search. You have to find out what is available in the market. What the articles has talked about this kind of the idea. From this kind of the design, you will maybe able to find out there is some lack of study for point or maybe several points. So you'll be able to achieve in your project. So this one is going to come out with your objective. By this one, you will sketch, you will come out with the design. As PLO number 3 mentioned, you will come out with the design, sketching everything, and make it ready. Then we'll move to PLO number 5, which is about the modern tools. How are you going to transfer your handwriting or the drawing on the paper to the softwares? And we have several softwares to be used for the design project. So let me talk about what they call the softwares. So we are still using AutoCAD. We are using SolidWorks. We are using ANSYS. Other universities, they are using CATIA, Elazina. There are several kind of the softwares in the market. All of them is applicable to use for the design project. But what is available in our curriculum, we are using AutoCAD, SolidWorks, and ANSYS. So these kind of the three softwares are really available. I mean, it's available for free of charge for the students. In the same time, it's really useful for the design. So after coming out with the idea of the design, we are simulating few points that is related to achieve the goal of the project. Then we will move to PLO number 6, as we may need to find out what kind of a material that we may need to use by following the standards, because this one is about engineering society. So the engineering society is teaching us to reach to the level of the standard that what is, or comparing with the standards which is available in the ISO or ASME for the some kind of standards. So when you select the material for your project, you may need to check out what kind of the material and what is the standard behind. So you may need to cite this kind of the information in your project and find out how we are able to achieve our goal by providing this kind of the information. Then we may go to PLO number 7, which is the environmental and sustainability. So you may need to find out what kind of the aspect that you may need to find from your project that will be related to the environment and related to the sustainability. So back again to the material. Is this kind of the material is able to go for sustain for a long time? Is this kind of the project is able to sustain for last long further more? I mean, more than the expected or available in the market? We may need to find out the suitable information before we start to come out with the idea. Then we move to PLO number 8. This one is going to be covered by other studies, which is the ethical, that about the plagiarism, is about the attitude of students, is about the collaboration among the students. This is the thing. Then we move to PLO number 9, which is the communication. Or PLO 9, maybe if I'm not mistaken, is a communication, or 10 is a communication. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we move to, let's say, is going to be go with the communication. So as a communication, you may need to present your idea in your report by writing. At the same time, you are going to covering by presentation. So you are going to present your idea for the capstone by verbally. Then we move to the number 10, which is going to go for the teamwork. Yeah, I believe I'm right. So in the teamwork, that is about the collaboration between the students and how are able to achieve the goal together. There is no sleeping member in this project because this project is required the teamwork to be achieved. Then we move to PLO number 11. How are we able to achieve the lifelong learning? It means what do you recommend for your idea, and how are you going to transfer this information to the future? So are you able to recommend this kind of a project for other kind of for a certain kind of the market? Are you going to recommend another technique or another method to be used for this kind of design? This kind about the lifelong learning. Then we move to the last one, which is last not least. So this one is about how are you going to manage your project with the financial cost. The financial cost is really important for this study. So you may need to find out what is the cost level in the market and how are you able to compare between your cost and the existing costs. So by this, you will be able to sell your idea, sell your design to the market. And this is very crucial and very important. So when we move to the outline of the project, as I just mentioned, or most of them, okay, then we may need to know about the oral communication. This is the most important part because you may need to defend your idea. You may need to convince the people which is in front of you from the market, from the examiners, other kind of students, and so on. So how are you able to defend your idea? How are you able to come out with correct project? And how are you able to achieve it? And how are you able to transfer to the receiver? Okay, this is very important. Another one, which is independent work. Independent work is between the group, same as a teamwork. both of them are linked together. And the teamwork and independent work, which is how each member is going to contribute to this project and how all of them is going to come out with the whole design together. Because one students cannot come out with the whole project. So all the group together, they will split the work among all the members, and at the end, they will come out with the design. Then they will come out with the whole project. Then they will be able to achieve their requirement. Then about the media and writing. So from your writing idea, you will be able to advertise your idea to sell it to the market. And how are you going to show it by using slides? Or what are we doing right now using the animation videos? Later, I'm going to show you some. Now, research idea here, you are going to search, but there is no research because research requires some analysis. Okay. Then at the end, which is interdisciplinary, this one is about how are you going to achieve the goal by different criteria and different goals with the outcome. So usually the ideas come out in the beginning in our department. It's starting from simple idea, which is about the design for the fabrication extrusion system for the 3D printer filament. So this is a basic idea that the students come out with the complete design. Okay, so this one of the design that the students come out by using the Hoover to collect the whole plastic. Then it's required some heaters to melt the plastic. Then it will be moving through another heater to melt all the plastic, then releasing as filament. So this kind of the idea, it's come out from the department level, as I mentioned. So we come out with several ideas, but still in the department level is not based on the market level. Okay, so it's not coming out as a problem from a company or from an organization or from any kind of the society. So the students have really achieved the goal by applying all their knowledge to this kind of the project. Then in the next semester, the students has continued the design by collecting this kind of the filament. So after releasing the filament from the heater or the nozzle at the previous design, then the students may need to collect the filament by using some kind of the techniques. So this kind of the project, which has 3 different level of the speed. This one is going to help to not let the filament to be cut off or stick on any location. So if it's moving to any kind of the level, it's going to be speed up or slowed down. Then at the end is going to be collecting all the filament by using the roller here. Then a cylinder collector, sorry. Then we are going to replace it by other kind of a cylinder. Then after that, we come out with idea about the fireworks. This one it's come out when the fire come out in the Australia, California. Yeah, several cities in the world has come out. I mean, the fire has started at that time. So we may need to think out how are we able to control the fire if it's going to be happen in the home or it's going to be happen in the jungle or it's going to be happen in other kind of the areas. So some of students, this is one of the design. The students come out with a robot vehicle that will be able to stop the fire or control the fire by using this kind of the robot. So it's come out of the body, Arduino circuit that's going to be giving the signal for all the functions in the design. Then water tank to be filled, of course, manually. Then it will be helped to send it to the hose that we're releasing the water to the fire. Then some kind of the sensor to detect the fire and any kind of the location. Then at the end here we have the motor and wheels. So the water spray nozzle is going to help to spray the water in different direction to help to calm or to control the fire in the area. This is one of the design that the students come out, which is we found it is really interesting. Then other than this, we come out with another design, which is about, or another project, which is about the peeling machine. This one is about the fruits. So usually when we providing the title to the students, we make it very general, okay? So one of the ideas that come out here is about the peeling machine. Peeling, we have peeler in our home that you cut anything by in the kitchen. But how to make it as really complicated, we have to provide several stages to make it as a design project. Okay, so for this one, we come out about the starting with the infeeder here. Then we need to wash the whole fruits. By the way, this is one of the designs. Okay, we have around 15 designs, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we got a washing area to wash all the fruits before moving to the conveyor. So in the conveyor, we may need to move to the peeling process. So we have to peel the whole fruits. Then after that is going to be moved to the cutting, then heating process because we need to make it hygienic. Then about covering or packaging all the fruits in the packets, then it will release to the market. So this kind of the project, our industrial panel, they really like it. They have commented as this one is really complicated machine. They are happy to see this kind of the idea by running by one semester from our students. Okay. Other than this, we come out with the mechanism for retractable bridge. This one, it's the idea come out when the flood is happening in Pahang and other kind of the cities in the worldwide. So we have to think about how to rescue the people from the location of the flood and save them for another direction. So this one, sorry, this one, it happened also during the MCO. So the students, what have they done? They have done with some ideas about retractable bridge. This one is going to be a transport by some vehicle to reach to the location of the flood. Then it's going to be expanded. Then it's going to be placed into landing. Then from this part, we may able to rescue the vehicles. We may able to rescue the people. And this one is may need to apply all the SOP for the MCO by sanitization, by temperature checking by some sensors, and many kind of the ideas has been implemented to this design. This design, it was really good. Okay. Then other than this, we come out with or we found some organization they were requiring some design from our university. So this is the only design as the first design, which started last semester, that we come out with real model or real problem that this kind of the organization are facing. So this one, they were the project or the site, which is located in Mid-Valley area. They found that it was very difficult to supply the water from small tank, which is placing in this area, to supply the water to all the land here, while this land is really huge. Okay. Then they are asking us what is the idea or how to harvest the water from the rain and how to make this kind of the dripping system to the whole land. So several designs come out and from the students, and one of them, which is the umbrella to collect the water from the rain, and some they come out with the lines to be allocated beside the bridge to harvest all the water that falling down on the bridge as well. At the same time, is this one kind of the water is going to be placed in this kind of the two tanks, and at the end is going to be supplying to the land by the dripping system. So this one, another idea, another design, as I mentioned just now. Okay, so we got several designs, several ideas, and the organizers were very happy from the students and what have they come out from after they complete the whole project. Then after this, I would like to show you some kind of the videos that what the students has been done before. Then later on, we are going to explain about the idea of the project and how the students, they may need to think between design and between the research and several kind of the ideas. So let's start with this kind of the video. This one about the controlling the fire and the sorry, before I start, this project is to control the fire in the jungle or in the woods. All right, so I'm starting from the beginning. Okay, so this project, it has been implemented in January 2020 before starting the COVID. So during this semester, the COVID started, which is in March. This, as you noticed, there were only 2 students come out with a prototype. Usually, we are asking the students to come out with a prototype, but due to the COVID-19, we have stopped using the prototype in the design project, and we move everything to as a simulation and modeling part during this kind of the MCO. So if you noted, there were 2 students only inside the home. They managed to get all the product, and they have come out with a design. This kind of the design, it was more than the expectation, okay? Because the students has come out with several ideas. They come out with 2 designs. One of them, if you notice here, just let me go back. Device, this device is supposed to be allocated on the trees to detect the fire. So after the fire is starting to detect from several sensors, okay, the firefighter, which is sitting at far away a little bit, a little bit far from the woods or the jungle. So in this case, they will send the drone to the location of the fire. Then they will detect everything, the fire, by using the thermal vision camera, if you notice. Okay, so by this one, we may able to calm out the control the fire in the whole jungle. So we may able to solve the problem by saving the jungle and saving the people inside the whole area. So this kind of the project, it has been implemented as a beginning as a mechanical parts, and step by step it's been being converted to several multidisciplinary. Sorry. So we come out with mechanical and some part of the electrical section, because we have to find some coding for the sensors and so on. So the students has achieved a good goal for this kind of the project, and they have come out with a great design. Okay, so if you notice here that this one is supposed to be attaching on the fire, on the trees, as I mentioned earlier. So from this one, we may able to transfer the drone to the what they call the jungle here, or the forest. So this is the great design that we found it from the students, and they have really achieved the goal and more than their expectation. Another design, which is another semester, which is about the retractable bridge. So let me left you with the video. Sorry, Yuvandish, please confirm with me the sound is working with the video, right?
Yes, sir. I
Okay,
can
thank you.
hear.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, so we will move to another video. Okay, so this one of the project that has been applied to rescue the people from the flood. And if you notice here, we have applied all the SOP regarding to the COVID-19. So we may need to find out how the students supposed to be apply all this kind of the information by applying sanitization on the bridge itself. Then at the same time deducting the temperature for each person before crossing the bridge. So we may need to provide also social distance between each member or between person and person for the citizen. So in this part, if you notice here that we are able to rescue the cars and at the same time we are able to rescue the people by applying this kind of the bridge. So this idea, it's come out also in the department level, as we mentioned earlier. Okay, and the students has achieved the goal by this is one of the designs definitely, and they have managed to solve the problem by this kind of the retractable bridge, because we may able to use this mobile bridge from location to another location instead of applying the bridge on one side, then we may need to apply another bridge on another side. So this kind of the idea, it's really helped to move on the bridge from location to another location and help to save the costs for the government or society who is going to run this kind of the design. Other than this, we have another project which is regarding to the peeling machine. I just would like to leave you with the video. Okay. This project has been done in 2019, uh, or 2020, sorry. Yeah, 2020. Yeah, the students has come out with several designs. Definitely, the multi groups has come out with several designs because we were had a lot of students. So I believe our groups were around 8. So each student select different fruit. And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Renji is with us today. One of your senior has come out with one of the designs for this kind of the project. And if I'm my mind or my memory is still there, they come out with a Logan machine, pillar machine. So this kind of the project, it has several stages, okay, as we mentioned earlier. So this kind of the stages, as we have explained, is coming out with the washing, then start moving with the loading stage, then moving with the cutting, peeling, all right. Then after that is moving with the cutting area. Then after that, removing the seeds, then moving to the packaging. So all this kind, it's come out as a factory outlet for pillar for peeling any kind of the fruit. Okay, so this project is really achieve the requirement of the idea from the students. Definitely, they come out with several designs. Every group come out with around 3 or 4 designs. Then at the end, they select the best design. Okay, so from this one, they managed to show for you the idea by using this kind of the video. Okay, so I'm going to move to the last video, then I'm going to explain the ideas here. So this project, it is the latest project, which is happening in May 2021. That one is 2021 January, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this one is May 2021, which is about the community service for the Mid Valley area. So I will leave you with the video.
Hi, today I'll be presenting to you our design of plant irrigation system that integrates rainwater harvesting system and drip irrigation. This design will be implemented to the site at Mid Valley River Tree. Without further ado, let's get started. So here, you can see the placement of tanks on a beam and the layout of drip irrigation. Looking closer, we have rain gutters installed along the bridge that can capture up to 2,800 liters of water. It also comes with first flush diverter that is used to capture leaves or big particles. Also, we have mesh filter at the inlet as a second filtration. Here you can see how the water is filled up. The upper tank will be used for irrigation, while the bottom tank is used as a storage and can be utilized as a washing facility. Moving on to drip irrigation, we are dividing the drip lines into 4 zones. This helps to ensure the uniform flow rate throughout your system. We are also adopting the use of PC emitters from Netafim. It has labyrinth design that reduces water pressure and ensures uniform delivery of water to your plants. To maintain a uniform irrigation over time, a dripper must be resistant to clogging. In this case, the dripper has the self-flushing mechanism that helps to flush out the debris. Next, we have a battery-operated controller that connects the soil sensor and a solenoid valve that helps to achieve automation. Here's the location of soil sensor. This helps to avoid the sensor from shutting down the irrigation before it detects moisture caused by the ongoing watering cycle. This is how you install the controller. Easy and no hassle. Here comes the interesting part, the Bluetooth-enabled controller. You can install the Note BT app from your smartphone, control and monitor from distance up to 50 meters away. From this app, you can manually operate or suspend irrigation, configure your sensors, and view your battery health. Before I end, here's the summary of the features of our design. It is effective, sustainable, and most importantly, caters to all your needs and will be a perfect solution to all your concerns. Thank you.
Okay, so this project, as we have mentioned earlier, has happened in Mid Valley area, but we didn't implement it as a real prototype or real model there, as we are still waiting the fund to come out from the organization to apply this kind of the project. There are several designs come out, which is around 15 designs from the students. Each design has different idea. All of them, all the ideas were perfect to be implemented at any kind of the location, but definitely we may need to pick the correct and the suitable one for the site. So this kind of the project, it has been worked. Let me back to the site. Yeah, this is the site, how it looked like. Okay, so to come out with the idea, you may need to think, what is a suitable idea, cheapest cost, proper design, sustainable design, not affect, not hazard. I mean, not hazard to the environment. It is really supposed to be applicable and easy to be used. All right. This kind of the project that you may need, or this kind of the idea, sorry, that you need to put in your mind before you come out to the design. Okay. So in this case, you may need to find out what are the stages that you may need to move in to come out with a finalized design. Definitely, you will not pop up with the best design, as I mentioned earlier. You are going to come out with the first idea, then second idea, then third idea, maybe fourth, fifth, until you feel, okay, this project or this design is totally different what is available in the market. So from this, we can differentiate between our work and the existing work. And how to make sure this one is achievable? We have several criteria or several ways to testing it, by either using the simulation, or we can build a small prototype to test the whole idea in the prototype. So from this one, you will be able to feel, okay, this kind of project is be able to be achieved, and we may need to come out with a suitable, what they call here, we may need to implement the suitable idea from our brain or from our ideas to the project. Then if this kind of the project didn't come out from the company, you may need to think, how are you going to sell this kind of the design? So all of these kind of the criteria, you may need to think about it before you start to implement any kind of the design or come out with a finalized design. Now, what is the difference between capstone and FYP? Capstone, it's a design. So up to here, we can end the project. Up to this level, we can end the project. But FYP is a research. So research is required analysis. And you may need to know what is going to be happen after you come out with this kind of the information. So let's say I would like to convert this one to FYP. So definitely we'll come out with the design. After finalize the design, we may need to check the whole project. Is it really achievable or not? After that, we are going to analyze what is going to be happen after we implement our project. Is it going to save the water? Is it going to save money? Is it going to apply what they call it here, this kind of the analysis after collecting the whole data? Because data alone, design alone is not enough for the FYP. FYP is wider. It has a lot of outcome, a lot of criteria that you need to achieve. At the end, you may need to, same here, we are going to compare with the existing, but that one is going to exist with another research. So you may need to show that your design is totally different with other designs. Okay, so this is the difference between the final year project, which is fully by research, and this one is about only as a design, about the idea of design and how to sell in the market by applying this kind of the criteria for your information. So I believe up to here, I am going to end my presentation, and I'm happy to be with you guys today. And if you have any question, you may I may open for Q&A, and after that, please, you may scan this code for the feedback. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Galani, for your wonderful speech. And okay, guys, we are reaching to the end of the session. So if you guys have any questions, you can either unmute and speak, or you can even message to the chat box. We will answer you.
Okay, I believe we have received few questions when the students filled up, or the participant. I'm not going to say students because we have from industry as well. Mr. Gibson is here. Nice to meet you, Gibson. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, so we may able to move with the what they called here the questions if it's possible. So first one, the difference between capstone project and final year project. So this is the what I have explained earlier. I hope I have answered the question. Then another one, can we choose to form our own group for the capstone project? Oh no, of course not. Usually, how the project is starting. Usually, in the first week, I am providing the idea. I'm providing the title to the students. The students they may need to sit together after. Oh, sorry, I explain the idea to the students first. Then I ask for who is going to be a leader for the project, because if we have, let's say, several number of students, let's say we have 30 or we have 40 students in the course, so I divide them based on 4 or 5 members in the group. So from this one, we are selecting the leader. So from after selecting the leader, I distribute the students to each group. Okay, because I don't want to find out students only working with their colleagues, because later in the future you are going to work in a company, and I believe Gibson now is understanding what I have done before. Okay, when you would like to work with someone that you know, of course you are feeling comfortable, but how are you going to work in an industry or in company later in the future? You may need to find out the difficulties about the communication among the group. You may need to live the difficult life during you come out with the project, and you have to solve all the issues that's going to be raised during the semester. After that, you have to think about one thing only: how to achieve the goal of this project. So this is the all information that I have summarized by selecting the group members by myself. Okay, so sorry, you are not allowed to select your own group. Then another question I will ask when I join. I hope you are going to ask something, guys. Can you please talk about the future design and what application we need to learn? Okay, future designs, definitely, as you are aware, everybody is talking about IR 4.0, talking about automation, talking about the new features of the machine learning and so on. So definitely machine learning is this one is going to go for Megatronic or EE department. But when we are talking about in general, we are still able to implement some kind of the sensors and ideas in our project, and we have to apply some kind of the automation for our design, because this one is a future requirement. So we may need to find out how to apply all this kind of the information or the knowledge or the existing ideas to our project. If you notice now, in the latest project, we come out with everything is going to be run by automation. So how? Because we have sensors applying to the soil and check the moisture of the soil. If it's wet, then it will going to stop dripping the system. It will stop supplying the water to the area, the garden area. If it's dry, then it's going to give signal to the Arduino. Then the Arduino is going to open the gate to supply the water to the garden until it's reached to the moisture is going to be stopped. So all of this is going to be automatically. It's not going to be happen manually. Okay, so all these kind of the criteria need to be applied for the future work. Future designs, definitely. Applications, definitely, I mentioned earlier, we have several kind of the application or software that we are using in our project. Okay, it's really important to know the modeling by using the AutoCAD, by using SolidWorks, or maybe you can use the SpaceClaim in the Ansys. So all of this is going to be help you to design proper model. The thing here is you may need to think which software is really applicable for your project. In my opinion, what I believe, SolidWorks is the best by using for modeling. But if you would like to go for simulation and analysis, definitely Ansys is better. Okay, but for modeling, SolidWorks has a lot of features, a lot of ideas that you are able to apply for your design. then in this case, you will be able to show the features exactly what are you looking for in the SolidWorks. So this is my advice, and definitely it's up to the group. They are able to select their convenient application. Now, other question, what skills should we pick up in order to use during the internship workplace? Oh, now we move to the internship. You have to study. This is the only thing that I'm going to share with you. Please study well, then you will be able to figure out what have you studied. You will be able to implement in your workplace. What is the process of creating the design? First, you may need to come out with the initial design. Of course, you may need to study first, study the idea, study the existing design, then you come out with the initial design. From the initial design, you will be able to develop the design by applying the first design, second design, third design, fourth design, until you feel, okay, this is enough. Now I'm going to pick maybe one point from every design, then I'll come out with a finalized design. This is very important that you may need to apply during your study for this kind of the course, because without applying different ideas, we will not be able to feel that you come out with the best design. Okay, because you are going to compare between all the designs, then you will say, okay, this design is better because of this kind of the criteria. So this is about how to create the design. Okay. Of course, you may need to follow the information and the criteria provided in the title. This is very important because we have some limitation and we have some important part you may need to focus on. We'll include automation and vehicle design. Okay, vehicle design, it has been done in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. We come out with several ideas, 15 and 16. We have come out with several ideas about the vehicle design. But then we move to the society designs that we have, what you noticed just now, guys. So all applicable. Definitely automation is very important. I'm worried that you are talking about automotive, not automation, because automation, as we have noticed, automation can be applied for everything. Since you are talking about vehicle design, I believe you are talking about automotive, so it's same as a vehicle. So I'm not quite sure if you are going to repeat the idea of the vehicle, unless you are going to go for e-car, electrical car. So this one, maybe in the future, why not? What software? I mentioned which software that we are going to use. I just want to ask how to manage to expert in your field. I hope I didn't get the question. I just want to ask how manage to expert in your field. I'm sorry, I didn't get the question. Okay, I'll move to the other one. Does any idea of the capstone project ever make it to the market? Yeah, definitely. What we have done last semester and what are we going to do in the future? Well, we have now several companies are really happy to join us to apply their problems, and they are asking us for solution. So this is what we have received from the students and during the what they called here, the filling the form. Now I'll move to the chat box. We have a lot. Okay, we move to Ryan. Is there any portal repository showcase all the capstone design project from the past few years? This is what I have showed just now. No, private channel, no, we don't have, unfortunately. But for those prototypes that we have done before, it's already in the what they called here, level 4 of block E. We have in the workshop. Yeah, it's the workshop. So inside the workshop, which is the prototypes, other than the prototypes, that what I show, it's all done by simulation and animation, because due to MCO, we are not able to ask the students to come to the university. So hopefully by next semester or starting from next semester onward, we are come out with a prototype again. Ahmed. Oh, Ahmed is the chairperson. Okay, Ahmed, thank you very much for organization with your team. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay, Gibson. Hi, Gibson. Gibson, I believe you can open the microphone if you would like.
Right.
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see you here again. Yeah, good morning or good afternoon to you.
Oh, yeah, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm good.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Um,
So
I hope you can share some information with your with your junior, sorry, about the design project, if it's applicable, and what you face in your industry. By the way, Renji was from the top students in our department. He
oh
were no, no,
right.
yeah. Don't feel shy, huh? So Renji is one of my favorite students, to be honest. He has come out with good design, come out with good analysis for his project as well. I was his examiner for his FYP. He is one of, as I mentioned, one of my favorite, and we are still in contact. And definitely next year he is going to be our industrial panel for our department. So the mic for you, Renji. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, okay. But as I know, this session is going to be 1 hour, right? So I'm not sure whether should I share my screen or not. You know, like the design that I'm doing for my company. Okay, I'm allowed to share. So if you guys are rushing, so just like
If
how to
you
say,
if you can
like
manage to
arrange the
share
time.
within,
Okay.
if you can manage to share within 5 minutes, please go ahead.
Oh, 5 minutes.
Yeah, because we don't have enough time. Yeah, sorry.
Right. Let me give me a second. Give me a moment. I need to open it. Um, let me
If you
see.
guys, you can notice what Mr. Renji or Mr. Chia mentioned in the chat box. He mentioned one of the suggestions is to study the type of sensor, cylinder, motor, linear actuator, and all mechanical components in the market, because definitely this one is really important. Knowing the brands of all these components is really important, definitely with the standard code and everything. It will be really useful for your project. Yeah, definitely, it's really, really important. And Gibson, until you finalize your screen, let me continue with the questions.
All right, sure. Let's go ahead.
Eliza, would there be any additional course where we can further learn the software, SolidWorks, and says, yeah, definitely. If you are going to go the AutoCAD, definitely with the design project, engineering, graphic, and design, and SolidWorks with the mechanical engineering design, which is in year 2. Then ANSYS is for what they called here year number 3 or 4, which is 4, the finite element course, which I'm going to teach you as well regarding to this course. So you will be able to learn all this kind of the feature of this kind of the projects, or we can say softwares. Okay, so you will learn, and definitely you are able to use outsources from articles, maybe YouTube or so on, is going to help you a lot. Yeah. So yeah,
All right.
Renji, thank you. Go ahead.
All right. I'm sharing my screen right now, so I hope you guys can see it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So Dr. Gani, you can see it, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna make it short. Okay. So Capstone is very useful for our future as a designer. Okay. So that's the reason, one of the biggest reason I wanted to become a designer. Okay. So as to answer some of the most common question, okay, like a lot of people might ask me, it is very hard to start a design. It depends. Okay. When I say it depends, because as what Dr. Dagny mentioned in the very early state of this session, every single design come up with a simple sketch. You know, it's not you can't complete something really great within 1 day. Okay, so everything must be done from completely, like, zero. Okay, start your own, do some research. Okay, and then slowly progress. Okay, to develop the thing that you want. Okay, so that's a very basic, I mean, it's a really important fundamental that all of you should know. And secondly, coming to the design. Okay, so right now you guys are doing the capstone. I mean, not right now. Okay, maybe in next year for all those year 4 students. So of course, definitely you don't have to design something like what you are showing, what I'm showing right now. Okay, this is completely, how to say, I can't say it's really sophisticated, but it's something managed to be fabricated. Okay, so for us as a industrial guy, what we are looking for the student is actually their idea. Okay, I'm not asking you to know every single detail, okay, of the machine. Okay, that's impossible. Okay, but one of the things that I would really suggest you guys is try to understand or try to find out the brand of each component. Okay, for example, we have cylinder over here. Okay, as you can see, okay, this is called mini cylinder, and then the brand is called Attack. Okay, what is Attack? You're going to find out yourself. Okay, it's a company which produces all type of cylinders. You know, like the cylinder that I'm sharing right now is called pneumatic cylinder. Okay, so definitely you have to know. Okay, don't be like me. The first day I mentor, my boss asked me, okay, can you help me to find out this cylinder? And I was like, what cylinder you want? Okay, it's kind of embarrassing, but anyway, I managed to overcome now. Okay, and secondly, we have linear actuator over here. Okay, you're gonna find it out. You're gonna study a bit. Okay, spend some time, half an hour. What is belt drive linear actuator, ball screw linear actuator? Okay, and then all those sensors. Okay, try as a designer or as an engineer. When we call the sensor, okay, don't just say it's sensor. What type of sensor is it? For example, this one. Okay, the highlighted one. This is a fiber sensor. Okay, it's a reflective fiber sensor. Okay, so I hope you understand what's the function of a sensor. Okay, we have ultrasonic sensor, photoelectric sensor, fiber sensor, and then laser sensor. Okay, all those things. Okay, and then furthermore, I think, okay, I hope next, okay, maybe upcoming design, you guys know what is aluminum profile. Okay, this is really important because if you go to all the website, okay, like for example, if you guys know about Genetec, it's a really famous company in Malaysia right now who helps, I think, one of the US company to do their electric vehicle machine. Okay, they are fabricating the electric vehicle machine and selling all this machine to the US company to help them to manufacture their EV car. Okay, so yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Renji, for your design, and definitely it's really interesting. I just would like to ask you one question. Did you find out in your workplace that what have you done in your capstone is really useful for your workplace?
Yeah, of course. One thing I would like to, okay. Okay, the most important one is how to organize, how to manage. Okay, my boss say to me that, or my leader say to me, okay, I don't have strong technical skill. Okay, I don't have strong, but at least I managed to capture what he said fast. Okay, you have to try to understand what your peers and other colleagues trying to convey their message to you, and then you have to capture correctly and then convert it to a design. That's the main thing as a designer.
Yeah, that's what I am always focusing on, guys. That the most important thing is you may need to learn the thing very fast, and you may need to work with some people that you don't feel that they are your really colleague. Okay. Later, you may need to learn from them, but at the same time, you have to pass them in the knowledge, because you have to prove yourself that you are really suitable for this position. Okay, and this is very important. And I believe Mr. Gibson has already explained the idea for all of you, and he has shared with you what he is facing during his design and how the technical part that he need to absorb very fast to reach to the level of his colleague that his seniors. Okay. Thank you, Gibson. I'm sorry for the short time because we don't have sufficient time to get
No
more
worries.
information and knowledge. Definitely is really useful for all of us.
Right.
So thank you for
Thank you, Dr. Hayani.
for coming here today. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so I just would like to know if there's any other question.
I think that's also, there's no more questions in the chat box.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much, you Vanish, and thank you everybody
Okay,
for coming on
thank you,
today.
Doctor. Okay, guys, before you guys leave, I would request everyone to open your webcams to capture a picture for attendance purpose. So thank you, and please open your webcam, everyone, just for a while. Okay. Okay, guys, I think that's it. You can close your webcams. Thank you. Okay, so before you guys leave, we will share the link for the feedback form in the chat box. Okay, the link has already been shared, so you guys can fill it up and you may leave the session. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Gailani.
Thank you very much, Yuvansh, and thanks for iMekki to organize this one. All right, have a great day for everybody. Please enjoy your weekend, and hope to see you next year. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, and thanks to everyone. You can scan the barcode here for the feedback form, and if you would like to hear more from us, you can join us on Facebook and our Instagram page. Thank you for everyone.